Welcome to Arizona Baseball Officials Association baseball training videos. Today's video is on catcher's obstruction, also known as catcher's interference. Let's get started. The batter becomes a runner with the right to score while advancing the bases in the correct order when the catcher or any other defensive player obstructs him while batting. Our focus in this video will be on the catcher obstructing or interfering with the batter during a pitched ball. For the purposes of this video, the words catcher's obstruction and catcher's interference are interchangeable with the same meaning. Catcher's obstruction, when occurring, is a delayed dead ball situation, and the umpire will let the playing action cease before posing any possible penalties. When the umpire notices catcher's obstruction, they will point at the catcher and say, "That's obstruction" or "That's interference," and let the play finish. The illegal action by the catcher is ignored if the batter and all runners advance at least one base on the play. If the runners, including the batter runner, do not advance one base, then the defense now has an option of taking the result of the play or awarding the batter first base, and all other runners return to their time of pitch base, unless they were forced to advance as a result of the batter's award of first base or if they were stealing on the pitch. Runners attempting to advance on the pitch are allowed to stay at that advanced base. Please remember that any runners, including the batter runner, who advance beyond one base are doing so at the risk of being called out. If we do not enforce the obstruction due to everyone advancing one base, then the playing action will stand and we will take the result of the play. Now let's start with some examples of the catcher interfering with the batter. The typical play will result in the batter tipping or slightly hitting the catcher's glove as he attempts to hit the pitch. These examples, the umpire will use his ears as well as his eyes to aid in ruling on catcher's obstruction. Our job is easy if the catcher's glove dislodges, as shown here. Now we have a situation with the runner on second base only. Catcher interferes with the batter during a pitched ball. Our result would be award the batter runner first and R2 stays at second. Now we have R2 stealing on the pitch and the batter is interfered with again. The result of our play would be batter runner at first base and R2 awarded third because he was stealing during the obstruction. Now we will show an example of the catcher obstructing the batter without contacting his bat. During the pitch, R3 attempts to steal home, and as we watch, observe the catcher leave his position in the catcher's box and come out over the plate to receive the pitch, thus preventing the batter an opportunity to attempt at the pitch. Remember, catcher's obstruction is not predicated on the batter attempting at the pitch, but rather the catcher's actions preventing him from doing so. We can clearly see the catcher impede the batter's ability to swing at the pitch by his actions. This example will result in catcher's obstruction enforced with the batter awarded first and R3 home. This clip illustrates the umpire's mechanic when catcher's obstruction occurs. The umpire is very decisive and clear with his actions and does a great job enforcing catcher's obstruction. He quickly rules on the obstruction by pointing at the catcher and emphatically awards the batter first base because the batted ball was fouled off, disallowing all runners a chance to advance.
I like him. He's aggressive. He goes out there.
And, catcher's interference. Knocked the glove off of Lobaton, and Ruggiano takes his base.
Is that the same one?
An eye or wide? Right.
B.J. Upton pops it up. But there's going to be catcher's interference here. Upton's going to be awarded first base on catcher's interference. Shopik made
look. B.J. aggressive going after it. And as Kelly Shopik is reaching back in, and you can see the little wince from him.
Belt, and we just saw Brandon Crawford, who is the new shortstop. Glode floats one to center, and it's caught by Rowan. One away.
Well, he's still pitching his game. That was a changeup right off the end of the bat. They do have Javi Lopez.
Wait, they're saying catcher's interference.
Oh.
This example shows the batter interfered with while hitting a fair batted ball, and all runners did not advance one base, including the batter runner. So the enforcement of the penalty awards the batter first base and the runners return to their time of pitch bases. Please remember our 4 keys regarding enforcement of catcher obstruction rule. The catcher or any defensive player who obstructs a batter during a pitched ball If the batter and all runners advance one base, then the play stands. The offense has an option of taking a play or awarding the batter first base if all runners do not advance one base, and any runner stealing on the pitch is allowed that base if obstruction is enforced. This concludes our video on catcher's obstruction, and as always, thank you for watching.